So I'm Randy. I'm an alcoholic. Randy. Really grateful to be here again today, Saturday. This meeting has a little different format. We're sort of a step study meeting because we go through the literature, and it's been generally taking us about 4.5 years to go through all 12 steps. So it's pretty heavy commitment. But if you come every week, we're going to go through the literature word by word, paragraph by paragraph, and we're going to talk about how to live what it says in that paragraph. And it says these are but suggestions. We're going to talk about what those suggestions are, and then I, as an alcoholic, I have to go home and practice that, or start practicing it right now in this room. And what you read at the end of the second step, true humility and an open mind, right now as a way of life, can lead me to faith. And this meeting, like every 12-step meeting, is an opportunity to be restored to sanity if I will rightly relate myself to God while I'm here in the meeting right now. So just going to a meeting doesn't rightly relate me to God. It just is a pause from my daily life, right? I take a pause. I come to an AA meeting and I can't work because I'm here. My mind might still be working. My mind might still be at work, but my body's here. I can't work. There's nothing to do. There's no money to spend. There's no dates to be arranging. There's just me at a meeting. So it's an opportunity for me to stop and to start rightly relating myself to God right now. Could you help me to be in this room? Could you help me to be the man you want me to be right now, here, in this moment? Could you speak through me? Could you tell me what to say? And could you help me hear when I'm listening? And believe me, I'm listening when I'm sharing. I can't tell you how many times a guy calls me up on the phone and asks me a question about their life, and the answer that's coming out of my mouth is for my life. It's like God knows what I need, and he puts a sponsee in my life, or somebody, anybody. They call me up and ask me a question, and I'm answering their question, and it's the answer for my life. So I need to be listening even when I'm talking. Oh, man. So right now, Power, could you be with me? Could you help me be here in this room? Could you help me have an experience with you right now so that I could go deeper into my application, right? We're just starting. We've read compliance versus surrender. We've read ego factors, and now we're starting how it works. And for the last 2 weeks, we've read one paragraph out of the big book, the first paragraph, and how it works. And really, it's the foundation, because it says, those who do not recover are people who cannot or will not completely give themselves to the simple program. I think it says men and women who cannot or will not completely give themselves to the simple program. And I'm a will not. I'm not a cannot. A cannot is someone who's wet-brained. And even some of those get better over time and become people that could completely give themselves to this program. But I'm a will not. On a daily basis, I will not completely give myself to doing what I think is God's will for me. I still think that I should have a say in it. I still think that I know to turn left when I'm intuitively guided to turn right. I still think I can make the decisions for my life. And I will not completely give myself to the simple program. And the reason I won't is because I'm constitutionally incapable of being honest with myself. I can't do it. Because the self I'm being honest with doesn't even really exist. There is no self to be honest with. I could be honest with my higher power, maybe, but I can't be honest with myself because myself is constitutionally incapable of being honest with itself. Because I have stories that I made up about what my life is and what life means and why you're who you are and why I am who I am. And I have all these stories that are made up. They're made up. My younger brother's coming to visit me next week, and he lived in the same house I lived in. We had completely different parents. And we lived in the same house. I hated my parents. He loved his parents. How's that possible? Because I have a story and he has a story. And we're both wrong. We just have different stories. So that's the problem. So even if I could become honest with myself, that self that I'm being honest with isn't capable of living in the real world anyway, so it doesn't even matter. Somebody asked about rigorous self-honesty last week, right? How do I know when I'm being honest with myself? Well, you don't, because you can't. Even if you could get completely honest with yourself, the story that you're being honest about is a made-up story. So now I want to get in touch with the thing that has all knowledge and all power. That's the goal. We're going to have a spiritual awakening. The spirit in me is going to awaken so that I can have a conscious contact with that spirit and not have any more relations with this make-believe self that I made up, the one that has alcoholism. So we're going to read a little bit more now, and we're on page, I think it's 56, right? 58. 58. We're in the big book. We're reading how it works. So, who wants to read? We read it in the I.
My stories disclose in a general way what I used to be like, what happened, and what I am like now. If you have decided you want what we have and are willing to go to any length to get it, then you are ready to take certain steps.
Yeah. If I have decided I want what the group has or what AA has to offer.
Keep reading?
No, that's enough. So, okay, so the meeting is open now. If you have experience with that paragraph and with that idea or that concept that's in that paragraph, please share it. And if you have a question, ask your question. Yep. Hi, Kimberly.